This new legendary item, the Alder Crystal, is actually insanely good. What it does is allow your arcane wind to freeze enemies who are chilled, and it has up to a 50% uptime, as the chill can last for 1.5 seconds, but cannot occur more often than every 3 seconds. That's a 50% uptime. So if you have an area that's chilled, for instance, I'm using the meteorite with a chill location, then you drop the arcane wind. It freezes everything in this location. Now, if we pair that with the Wind Shaper, it's going to summon a tornado that constantly generates the freeze over and over again in an area. So we're going to use the Wind Shaper with the Arcane Wind, which summons this guy, with a meteorite chilling. And there's other ways you can apply chill, but I'll talk about why I use that in a second. And this is going to continually have a freeze area for a really good amount of time in that area. Now, it might be tempting to take the Ray of Frost, which will freeze your enemies if you damage them 6 times from the Ray of Frost, and then make that your chill plus the wind, and to constantly have a beam plus it. But it's actually better, in my opinion, to use the meteor with the chill, as this is an instantaneous form of chill and continually damages the area for a long piece of time. The other interesting bit is this arcane wind allows you to combine your disintegrate with the shoulders that cause the disintegrate to channel fire. I'll show you those shoulders now. And this gives you the Firestorm combination at the same time that you're freezing everybody. So we have 2 instantaneous casts here and here into a Firestorm combo, and you have CC plus damage. Here's about an even combat rating test in the challenge rift so you can get an idea. If I drop this and then chill them, you can see the freeze into the Firestorm combination is pretty big damage. So let's see what that looks like on the little bit more difficult of a combat rating challenge. Here is 186. I have yet to beat this one. Combat rating is very high difficulty. They have 380 combat rating on me. I do, 78% less damage, and I take 373% more damage. So let's get an idea of the CC combination. There's the instantaneous CC into the Firestorm combination. And you can see they continually get freezed. That's a second freeze, and the same people that got freezed originally right at the impact. So there's one freeze. And you can see it's decent damage. You can see the Firestorm there. Pretty good damage continually. And the cool thing about it is the meteorite and the arcane wind are actually on a pretty low cooldown. And I use the chest plate that makes the meteorite have additional radius, which makes it easier to land that chill. What's interesting is the outfit basically looks like it was meant to be worn together, which is also really cool. I mean, it wasn't the reason I built the build. Like, I didn't go in and look at the cosmetics and be like, oh, that's a real build. Like, I realized this after I put it together. It's like, hey, is that on purpose? Are they supposed to all go together? The helmet we use is the Mask of Illusions, and that's what gives us sort of the tankiness of the build. We create a mirror image that allows us to tank force that plus the Hydras. The shoulders we were actually using, like I'm saying, are the disintegrate once to channel the fire. And the kitty cat is, what is going on, kitty? I was using the Star Caller to increase the meteor radius, and the reason for that is the meteor is the Frostwalkers, which has this big icy patch that continually just damages and most importantly chills the enemies. That way our arcane wind that is continually following people and damaging them is proccing this right here, which is the Alder Crystal. Okay, kitty, okay. If I had to pick a set, it would 100% be the Gray set. The reason being, if you look at this, all continual damage, channel damage, and persistent ground damage is increased 15%. Also, when you damage an individual enemy 5 times, you do additional damage, and then you get the AoE strike, which also stuns people. So I think this is pretty much the literal perfect build for this. Here's an Elder Rift with no modifiers to give you like a normalized idea of damage. Here you go, and obviously Elder Rifts are always way easier than Challenge Rifts or anything, but in case you want to get an idea, I will kill the boss for you real quick, and you can kind of see how the combination damage works out. Oh, here I got a Frenzy Shrine. This would be kind of fun to show you what Frenzy Shrine damage looks like with it, so you can see all the crits. And here we go, on the boss even, so okay, here you go. This is absolute min-max damage, the peak that you're going to see on it, and you can kind of see how quickly it's melting there. Let me get where you can actually see what's going on here. All right, wait for the combination. All right, 173,000 health, and combine everything, superpower, go, dead. Just like that. There are other ways you could go with this. Like, if you wanted to be super, super annoying, I could definitely see doing the Ray of Frost type of build. This would be borderline hilarious because, I mean, check this out. Here's Challenge Rift 180. From a CC's perspective, it could be pretty funny. You're freezing them, and then you're just freezing them again, and you're just basically constantly freezing them. But let's see what it's like at a higher challenge rating. Okay, let's once again try 186, the one that's hard for me to do. Okay, here we go. See if we can do this without getting instantly murdered. Here we got a blue pack up here. Okay, this would be a good example. So we drop the freeze, we try to walk past them, we use the other Ray of Frost. And this is part of the reason I like using the invisible guys instead, is because of how much it does help you stay alive. But the Ray of Frost then freezes as well. You can see that it's kind of a hilarious combination of just like freezing the whole time. But that right there is why I prefer the invisible people, because it buys you time to stay alive, and the teleport helps you kind of rearrange where you're standing. There we go. So use the big freeze and then freeze them again while they're getting froze by the other freeze. It's kind of a big meme. I mean, it sort of works, but you're way less tanky. Works totally fine in overworld farming because the abilities are insta-cast and leave damage behind you. You can sort of just continue to run in your circle. Your teleport's going to help you to disintegrate kills things that are in a line. And it's pretty much all you need to do. Just like that, it's plenty enough damage. The Firestorm will proc pretty much all the time from disintegrate, as long as you're hitting somebody with just a tap and then dropping right after. There you go. There's the Firestorm, and you just call it a day. Pretty easy build all around. Paragon's pretty simple build. It's just my min-max DPS build. I went down every single tree and did armor penetration as well as damage. I have a video on that build if you're curious. It's also pretty good at farming the locations where you're standing in one spot because it's insta-cast, so you just hit the buttons, you let it go there, damages whatever spawns there. It's pretty simple and easy. My gems are a mix of potency, armor penetration, as much damage as I can get my hands on. Everything else is just leftover filler, and I need more gems. Gems that would work good for this for legendary gems are Everlasting Torment, Berserker's Eye, Bloody Reach could be pretty good. I could even see the attack speed of the Hungerer be alright for channeling Disintegrate. Biting Curse could be kind of interesting if it stacks with the chill instead of kind of both combining and doing nothing. It'd be interesting to see if the movement speed plus the chill stack, that could be a really good gem then. 5-star gems I'd want to see are obviously Seeping Bio. Blood-Soaked Jade would be a good one. Chip of the Stone Flesh actually works here because Frozen does count as total loss of control, so you get some use out of this one. This would also work with the Frozen Wellspring, but I didn't get to test it because it's another continual chill in area. That's essentially what the Frostwalkers actually do, so they're not really that different. These shoulders would seem to be good, but you would have to drop Disintegrate doing the burning, which would lose you your Firestorm combo in order to get the increased meteorite damage, but it is potentially an option if you drop Disintegrate. There is one other item to talk about, which is the Fang, because this makes it where Arcane Wind also chills the enemy. Well, if freezes chill enemies, does that mean when we just use the ability, it instant freezes them? Here we go, let's find out. The answer, no, they're not chilled already, so when it hits them, it only applies the chill. The power is in the fact that continually damage, and we need the reapplication of damage to reapply the freeze every 3 seconds. You see, that's really where the strength of this build lies. It's in the fact that the offhand has a 3-second cooldown, but a 1.5 second stun. That's a 50% uptime on this, and we want to abuse that by having Meteorite and the wind up as much as possible. Now you know how the Alder Crystal works. I like this item. If you like this item after this video, consider liking the video to help me out, or subscribe for more informative based Diablo Immortal content. I love you all. See you on the next video.